We love you. Okay, at the end of today, Tuesday, the 19th of February, 2019. The Patrick Frazee case today, the preliminary hearing. A judge ruled today that there is enough evidence to send this Colorado man accused of killing the mother of his own child to trial. It's going to trial, guys, and the arraignment is set for the 8th of April. Okay, so there is some good news there. Mama Frazee, mother of Patrick, was put on the stand to answer some questions under oath, and she pleaded the fifth. And she answered no questions, and she was escorted out. So there you go, guys. Is she hiding something? That's her right to not incriminate herself. Okay, so was she, or does she know where the weapon is? Does she know anything about what happened before the fact or after? Now, they say Mama knows best, and she know her son? Yeah, she knows her son. And she knows a lot more. But let's see how far this one takes her. Because there comes a time when you have to answer the questions. Otherwise, you'd be put in jail yourself. We'll see if she has to ever answer to any questions. So, guys, there is some new charges today on Patrick. There is some new charges. Woo woo! Yes, he's got what is it? 2 murder. First-degree murder, 3 solicitation to commit murder, and here's the other one. This one is moving a body from the crime scene. How about that one? We got him on that one. So he has been charged on 6 counts. 6 counts he has been charged. Now, like I said in my other video, this, I call her KK, has Crystal Kenny. I don't even like to call her that. I just call her a KK. Yeah. And she testified in court today of the horrific crime that was committed at Kelsey Barrett's home on the 22nd of November 2018. Now, she did give her testimony today, and in gruesome details, as Patrick Frazee sits in the courts, I assume, staring at her, looking at her, staring at her. Now, was she looking at him? I doubt it. She was probably looking the opposite direction. Well, anyway, the solicitation was, like I said, to put some kind of poison or sleeping pills into a coffee and give it to her. How was she going to give it to her? So, on an occasion, she made up the story about a dog or something, and she'd gone up to her and pretended to be a neighbor of some sort and handed her a cup of coffee. Did she hand her this cup of coffee? Because I'm just questioning this part, guys, and we can have a discussion on it. Now, did she ever hand the coffee to her? Because the way they're saying it, she handed the coffee to her, but she didn't drug it. She didn't put no poison or nothing in there, because she said she couldn't do it. But did she actually go there and hand her a cup of coffee? Hand her a cup of coffee. Well, if that ain't trying to murder somebody, I don't know what is. We don't know if there was anything in that coffee. Could there have been drugs in that coffee? Could there have been some drugs to sedate her, to put her to sleep, to knock her out? Surely there could have been. She can get her hands on all kinds of medication. Well, she couldn't get everything because it has to be signed out. And I work in nursing homes, and they have a machine, narcotic machine, and it's documented when these drugs are ordered to come out of the machine, and you only can get them at a timely manner, like say once a day or every 8 hours or whatever the case may be, and it has to be signed. And well, I don't know, she works in a hospital. It probably is easy for her to get narcotics or some good sleeping drug or something, but apparently Kelsey never drank it. Something like that. And what about the car? What about the car she used to go down to Colorado? It wasn't even her car. I thought that she had a long time ago borrowed her friend's car to go to Colorado, so her car wouldn't be recognized. You know, all this is a planned thing. All this, her going to Colorado, is all a planned thing. Now, what I'm saying is, guys, if you hire a hit person, okay, you hire a hitman, and maybe the first time it doesn't work out, so they said, oh, you know, I couldn't do it last night, or the, you know, because of such and such showed up unexpectedly. Okay, we're going to do it another night. Okay, so we're going to come up with a different plan. Okay, and then you actually do that, but it doesn't work. You actually do it, but it doesn't work. Well, isn't that attempted murder? You've already done it. You've already got the coffee. You've already put the drugs in it. You say you didn't, but we don't know that. We don't know what was in that coffee. But whatever was in the coffee, it didn't work. Huh? No, because she didn't drink it. Well, anyway, how do you know she didn't drink it? So, the attempt was there. This girl isn't in possession of a telephone and went back to Idaho and made a couple of calls. Not innocent calls, but compared to the rest of it, the texts were pretty innocent. But that's not it, though, is it? She's been there. She's been at the crime scene. Before we know, she could have transported that body over the state lines. Like people were saying, like, I don't know, some other channel or something, you know, people talking said, you know, she works. He's done away with her, got her body supposedly burnt and maybe chopped up. We don't know that. We don't know the gruesome details because we don't know where her body is. But just say, this is what happened. He beat her up, which he did. So KK says, that she was beaten with a baseball bat, and it was a bloody scene. Stuffed her into some plastic in a tote and burnt her body. Then he has to get rid of that evidence. So he gives it to KK, and she takes it back, because she didn't go back and make those phone calls until that weekend. She has the body in her car in little pieces, and she takes that body and takes it to a hospital with her and puts it in the infirmary, where they burn stuff. Oh yeah, well, that could have happened, and people are talking and saying that just might have happened. She's not innocent. She just didn't just take the phone. She cleaned up a crime scene. That is destroying evidence. Now, we talk about Christopher Watts moving the bodies and putting the bodies where he did. This girl's just about done the same thing. Yeah, they both have done the same thing. Now, Christopher Watts got 80 plus years for tampering with evidence and moving the body from a crime scene in Colorado. Well, what are they going to get? What is she going to get for tampering with evidence? And who's to say she didn't move that body right along with him? That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Who's to say that? Her word? Her word. Well, we proved that she don't tell the truth, so why are we going to believe her? Yeah, she's gave her testimony on this. Yes, we are going to believe her. Because Patrick Frazee has not spoken. Whether this happened or whether it didn't happen like that. But she knows an awfully lot of stuff to not be innocent in this. At first we thought she just had the phone. But it is it. She just didn't have the phone. She is 100% committed in this crime. And they say she was solicited 3 times. No, she had more chances to back out of this more than 3 times. More than 3 times. Now she is back in Idaho in a safe location. Because you know what? After today, she may need a bodyguard. Now, Patrick Frazee is wearing a bulletproof vest. He's wearing a bulletproof vest. He's not even wearing a coat or a jacket in this freezing weather. Well, who cares about if he's freezing or not? But he's wearing a bulletproof jacket. Yep. Well, who'd want to kill him and go to jail? Nobody is going to kill him. Nobody wants to go to jail for him. They want to see justice. Justice. They want to see him in a prison for the rest of his life. And maybe this one needs the death penalty. But they're not going to do it, I guess. They're not even going to waste their breath. Nobody's mentioned the death penalty. But you know, life imprisonment is just good enough for me. Now, they are saying, and that KK said that Patrick said that his daughter was being abused by Kelsey and had bruises, and had the doctors seen her and had proof of it too. But that doesn't mean nothing. A child gets bruises. Now, that's child abuse? Who was taking the child to a hospital to declare Kelsey unfit mother? Where's the proof of that? Now, she's a little kid that is learning to walk, and they fall down and bang themselves because that's what they do. That's what they do. Anybody that's got kids know their kids fall and hit their chin and hit their head, and they do all kinds of stuff. That doesn't mean it's abuse. And look at the way he held his daughter in one of those pictures. Like he doesn't even know how to hold a baby. Now, he's the probably one that got the bruises on her. Shoving her in the car and slamming her around. Yeah. So, now, what's this doctor saying it was abuse? I'd like to see this paperwork. They were going for a hearing, but I'd like to see these reports from this doctor that said that this is child abuse. Oh my goodness. Everything's child abuse these days. You can't, your kid can't even get a bruise. And I'm saying, that's what he's saying. That's exactly what he was saying. So here's some news reports, some, bits of press releases of today's and last week's, when KK was in court, and today, and a little bit of the press release after what happened in court today. And they're very happy that the judge has not given Patrick Frazee bond, and he is to stay in jail until on the 8th of April, when he will be arraigned. And this is when he will make his plea. He will listen to whatever he's charged with, and he will make his plea. And that's when he'll make his plea of guilty or not. But this guy is going to trial. He's going to trial unless he pleads guilty, of course, and makes a deal. Unless he makes a deal before that time. He's got a month, nearly 2 months to think about that. And you never know, guys. He might make a plea. But I doubt it. Anyway, because, they still have to prove their case. Well, this guy is innocent until proven guilty. Sorry, I'm laughing. But anyway, but in the eyes of the law, he is. But we all have our opinion on that, don't we, guys? And we'd like to hear him talk. Is he going to talk? And we're going to hear him talk through his lawyers. And we'll see who turns on who. So this was a little drama today, and there are things that are going to be... The judge did order for some things to be unsealed. And they should be out by now. They should be out, and it'll be floating around soon on... Not sure of which ones are being unsealed. But anyway, we're sure to find that one out soon. So let's have a little discussion on the rest of the stuff that happened today. And there was a few witnesses in court, and some, there's other people that's going to be witnesses, and they stated, all that's going to be involved. And now they got their orders to not speak of the case until they're released by the judge, after they have given their statements of whatnot. So anyway, guys, what do you think? Do you think, well, we know that's what she said. She cleaned up the house. She did this. She did that. And she couldn't go through with it. She couldn't go through with killing her with the iron rod. She couldn't go through with her putting poison or drugs into her coffee. And but she did manage to bring all the supplies from, and she probably got them from her job in the hospital. She'd probably been loading up with some medical supplies because, as you know, we got blood spills, and you get red bags and all different color bags. She can get a handful of stuff in the hospital of medical equipment, gloves. I mean, isolation gowns and hats and little shoes you wear. They all have them in the hospital. And that's not easy for her to get a hold of and buy a big bottle of bleach and lots of rags. You can, oh my God, where did she put all this dirty stuff? Where did she throw? I like to know if she used paper towel or did she clean up with some rags? Because you know what? That paper towel, whatever she cleaned that blood spills up with, and her protection clothing that she wore, PPE, and she put it somewhere. She threw it in the trash. Were the police looking for the trash? Her cleanup kit. She threw it away. Yeah, what did she do with it? So the police, I think, were looking for her clothes she was wearing when she went to the house and cleaned it up. That's what they were looking for, guys. They were looking for it because it would have all the blood on there. But you know what? When they were looking in the landfill, well, you never know. They could have burnt all that. But if she told the cops that she threw it in the trash in bags, then she didn't burn it. But a smart person would have burnt that too, wouldn't they? Smart person would have burned every single thing that you used. So anyway, guys, there's the update on there and your thoughts on this disgusting matter. And thank you for stopping by. Here's what happened in court today as the DA gives a press conference after the day's court hearings today on the 19th of February.
Good afternoon. As you know, today we held a preliminary hearing all day. What a preliminary hearing is for us to present a summary of the evidence and for the judge to decide if there's probable cause to bind any charges over for trial. And there was a second purpose, that he had to decide whether he would set a bond today. Part of what he had to decide is whether the evidence, we have a term in Colorado called whether the evidence, there was proof evident or a presumption great. And if the judge found those, then he sets a no bond. If he strictly just finds probable cause but doesn't believe the evidence is evident or the presumption great in terms of his conviction, then the judge will set a bond. So that's what we had the all-day hearing on today. We presented two witnesses primarily. We just ended a little while ago. As you know, the court has bound over on all 6 felony counts. The court is bound over on 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of tampering with a deceased human being, 3 counts of solicitation for first-degree murder. The court then went on to decide whether the evidence was, the proof was evident and the presumption was great, and he found that as to every single count. So he did not set a bond, and he will stay in jail with no bond pending trial.